Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about something huge. How can a small or medium-sized business in Bangladesh tap into one of the world's biggest markets, Brazil? We're going to break down the massive opportunity, but also the very real challenges. And most importantly, we'll lay out a clear, practical path to get that first shipment out the door.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the sheer size of the prize. I mean, it's massive. Then we have to get real about the 5 key barriers that you're going to face. From there, we'll talk about the solution, how a chamber of commerce can be your bridge, the exact toolkit it provides, and finally, the step-by-step process to get you from just an idea to your first successful shipment.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about scale, because honestly, the numbers here are just staggering. They really show why this should matter to your business. We're not just talking about finding one new customer, This is about tapping into a massive, continental-sized economy.
So get this, we're looking at a nearly $278 billion import market. Let that sink in. This isn't just some far-off country. It's a huge economy with really sophisticated supply chains that are actively looking for new competitive partners. And yeah, that means partners just like you.
And look, this isn't just theory. It's already happening. Bangladeshi businesses are seizing this opportunity right now. You can see it right here. Exports jumped from $147 million to $187 million in just 1 year. So the demand? It's proven. And that trend line is heading straight up.
Okay, but let's be super direct here. Entering this market, it isn't simple. It's absolutely rewarding for sure, but it's not easy. For a small or medium-sized business, there are usually 5 big hurdles that can stop you dead in your tracks before you even get started.
So what are they? Well, first, there's just the basic uncertainty. I mean, where do you even begin? Then you've got partner risk. Is this buyer legit? Can you trust them? Then you have to navigate all these complex regulations, get your pricing exactly right so you're both competitive and profitable. And finally, you have to execute all the logistics flawlessly. Seriously, any one of these things can kill the whole deal.
So the big question is, how do you overcome all of that? Well, here's the crucial thing to remember. As an SME, your strategy just can't be the same as some massive corporations. You don't have the same resources. You have to be smarter, you have to be more efficient.
And this really gets to the heart of the challenge. A big multinational, they can just throw a whole team of expensive consultants at the problem. But as an SME, you can't do that. You need a single, trusted connector, someone who can help you cut costs, avoid all those common rookie mistakes, and just dramatically shorten the path to making that first sale. And that is exactly where an organization like the Brazil-Bangladesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we'll call it the BBCI, becomes your essential bridge. See, they don't just provide a list of services, they provide credibility, they provide trust, and that stuff is absolutely priceless when you're trying to do business from thousands of miles away. All right, so let's get into the toolkit. Let's see how this actually works, how it builds a practical solution for each of those 5 barriers we just talked about. This is where the strategy stops being an idea and gets really tangible. Just look at how this maps out. It's pretty brilliant. That market uncertainty? You get credible market intelligence, not just some theory from a textbook. Worried about partner risk? You get matchmaking with properly vetted contacts. And for all that tricky stuff, regulations, pricing, operations, you get real practical guidance and connections to the right local experts on the ground. It's a whole coordinated system designed to knock down each one of those challenges. Their most practical function is probably this structured matchmaking. This is not about just handing you a phone book and saying good luck. No way. This is about moving you way beyond cold calls into credible, chamber-backed introductions with the right importers, the right retailers, and even trusted customs brokers. It basically de-risks that entire scary process of finding good partners. And this is so true when it comes to pricing. You have to remember, Brazilian buyers are dealing with a really complex import system. So if you can help them predict their final landed cost, the total cost to get your product all the way into their warehouse, you're not just selling a product anymore. You're selling predictability. And that, my friends, is an incredibly powerful way to build trust and win repeat business. Okay, so what does this whole journey actually look like in practice? It's not just a random walk in the dark, hoping you get lucky. It's a clear, disciplined pathway, a roadmap that takes you from that initial ambition to a real, tangible business outcome. It all starts by getting your own house in order, right? Clarifying what you want to achieve, making sure your product is truly ready.
Then, with the chamber's support, you target and identify the right partners, you conduct outreach that actually gets taken seriously, you validate all the nitty-gritty details, and then you execute that first all-important shipment. When you follow these steps, a really complex goal suddenly becomes a manageable process. And here's the best part. The demand, it's already there. It's right there, concentrated in key sectors where Bangladesh already has a huge competitive advantage and a global reputation for quality manufacturing. We're talking apparel, textiles, light engineering. You're not trying to create a market from scratch. You're just trying to connect to a huge one that already exists. So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Yeah, the challenge is real. Let's not sugarcoat that. But it is absolutely manageable. And the reward for getting over that hump, it's not just one single order. It's access to a scalable export pipeline that can genuinely, truly transform the entire future of our business. So, with the demand already proven and a clear, supported pathway available, the crucial question for your business is no longer if you should look at Brazil, it's when are you going to take that first step? The bridge has been built. The real question is your business ready to cross it?